should the silver price go up. The silver speculator, because, as an example, during the Reddit silver squeeze, had such high and immediate expectations, looks at this uncertainty and lack of price movement, and they suggest to themselves that silver is dead. That's wrong. The upside in silver stocks is simply mind-boggling when it occurs.
Bang, all at once. We'll wake up on a Monday morning and COMEX will be irrelevant, and Shanghai will say, COMEX and LBMA have silver at 29 bucks. We're putting it at 47. And watch how fast every drop of silver that hasn't yet been sold moves eastward.
In today's episode, two renowned financial experts, Rule and Andy Schectman, discuss the fundamentals of the silver markets. In today's show, silver takes the center stage as today silver's dropped over 5%. In today's show, we'll focus on what to expect from silver in 2024 and what are the main drivers and catalysts driving the precious metals sector. Will silver outperform gold? Is silver due for a once-in-a-decade year? Will gold survive to the dollar collapse? This and much more in this video. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you do not miss out on our daily videos, and check our pinned comment for some massive sign-up bonuses. Enjoy the video.
I think there'll be an inflection point this year where gold and silver become mainstream. Maybe it has to do with the banks collapsing or bailed in or whatnot. And then they really start to make significant pronounced moves. I think it's important to realize that on December 27th, the closing price of silver on the Shanghai Gold Exchange was $26.50 an ounce. But on the CME, which is the COMEX, it was $24.31. So $2.19 higher, almost 10% higher on Shanghai than on the CME or on the LBMA. Now, that is a trend that you'll continue to see happen. I think they will slowly turn up the heat and arbitrage all the gold and silver away from the West. You look at what's happening on COMEX. The open interest on silver right now is 1,500% of the registered silver. In other words, there's 1,500% more paper than there are bars backing it. And so that's a situation that grows very dangerous by the day. That's what the Hunt brothers noticed in 1980.
Yep.
Way more contracts than bars. Yep. It's being suppressed. And you got a report that just came out that Mexico, who has been the #1 producer of silver on the planet, their silver production is down 25% over the last 2 years.
Made a video about that yesterday.
If you don't expect that they will do some sort of nationalizing of their mines before it all goes bye-bye, they're saying that by 2026, they could be out of silver. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I mean, I think, look, silver is the most undervalued commodity on the planet. And the central banks are buying it, not just gold. India bought 80 million ounces between October and November. They bought 304 million ounces in 2022. I think there are very few things on the planet that offer the upside potential that silver does. And it's so counterintuitive and has been not enjoyed the same rally that gold has, that it's being ignored by the mainstream. And that falls right into the hands of the countries that are using the suppression of the Western market against us.
The point of all this simply is that when you go through year after year after year of supply deficit, at the same time that silver speculators are getting more and more and more disappointed, that pop in silver that attracted them is getting closer to occurring. People want certainty. Unfortunately, with regards to silver, certainty is in short supply. Nobody really understands what the above ground inventory is because so much of it is privately and closely held. Nobody understands very much about the price points that will be necessary to encourage substitution.
Silver has been facing some selling pressure for the last 4 days. On Wednesday, it dropped to its lowest point in nearly 3 weeks, falling below the mid-23 range during the first part of the European session. This drop in silver's price confirms a breakdown through a key level called the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, which is based on its recent price movement between $22.51 and $24.61. This suggests that silver might continue to decline further. The negative outlook is supported by technical indicators on daily and hourly charts, which are showing negative trends. In simpler terms, it looks like silver's price is likely to keep going down for now. However, there may be some support around the 23.30 level, and if it falls even further, it could find support around 23.15. There's also an important level at 23, which could be a significant turning point. If silver's price drops below 23 decisively, it could trigger more selling, leading to a further declining. Now we'll show you more clips of Andy Schectman and Rick really talking. Remember, if you're going to add Bitcoin to your commodities portfolio to take advantage of our sign-up bonuses, link down below. Enjoy the video.
And using the environment of really make-believe commodity prices, courtesy of the Western system, to accumulate as much as they can, slowly enough so not turn up the heat on the prices, but just enough so that they can pickpocket the world of all of their gold and silver to anyone who's foolish enough to let go of them at these prices. There are very few things that I've ever seen in 33, almost 34 years in finance that offer what silver does in terms of its fundamentals, both geologically and historically in price, between supply and demand, a growing demand and decreasing supply, both above ground and in ground. I mean, you couldn't ask for better fundamentals. So,
yeah.
And there's the old saying that the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. The market is irrational. The price is irrational. The price is counterintuitive. But the big money draining it using the Western suppression should be key for you to see the truth. And that is that they're using it against us. And one day, and that's the little by little by little by little.
Silver as an insurance asset. I own gold. I own gold because I'm afraid it's going to do well. I own gold to preserve my wealth. I own silver as a speculator. I remember the extraordinary move in silver and silver equities in the 1970s. I remember a move in the metal from $1.50 to $50. I remember a move in Coeur d'Alene mines, which sadly I didn't participate in, from $0.10 to $65. Now, granted, that move in the 1970s was the most dramatic in anybody's living memory. Mm-hmm. But the moves that we enjoyed in the early part of the decade of the 90s, not a halcyon time for precious metals, was certainly one for the record books too. I remember the price of silver going from $4, if my memory serves me correct, back to almost $50 again, but much more dramatically. I remember, and I did participate in a major way, Silver Standard going from 72 cents to $45, Pan American Silver going from 50 cents to plus $40. These are truly extravagant moves, and people who have the financial wherewithal to risk a decline, risk being wrong, and that have the psychological wherewithal to handle the sort of dormant periods where silver doesn't make you anything but costs you a lot. Those people, and I've known, well, I am one, and I've known several, stand to enjoy absolutely life-changing experiences by utilizing a fairly small proportion of their overall portfolio or liquidity. I mean, think about the idea that a fairly young person has with, say, $100,000 portfolio, and that person allocates only $5,000 to silver, and then they experience the sort of moves that silver has exhibited at least 3 times in my career. that $5,000 becomes $50,000, at least pre-tax, which is to say somebody experiences a marked change in their portfolio for a fairly small financial allocation. That's why I own silver. I don't, frankly, this is going to sound very arrogant, I frankly don't need the money, but I enjoy the process. The vast majority of my estate is going to go to philanthropy. And I intend to leave a lot.
What do you think of today's show? Are you bullish on silver for 2024? Has the recent drop in silver worried you? Are you taking advantage of the dip to stack more precious metals? Let us know your honest opinion in the comments section. Thanks for watching the video to the end. That's it for today, and I see you on the next one.